Hi, I am Adira, Assistant Professor, Department of Mathematics from E-Content Development Center, Majlis Arts and Science College, Puramannur. Today I am going to discuss about index numbers. This video is for the first semester BSc Mathematics and Computer Science students for the paper Introductory Statistics. After watching this video, you will be able to understand the concept of index numbers, to identify the problems in the construction of index numbers and to construct index numbers using various methods. History. Historically, the first index number was constructed in the year 1764 to compare the Italian price index in 1750 with the price level in 1500. Even though originally developed for measuring effect of change in prices, nowadays index numbers are one of the most widely used statistical devices. Definitions. There are a number of definitions for index numbers. Some of them are: first one, an index number is a statistical measure designed to show changes in a variable or a group of related variables with respect to time, geographical location or other characteristics such as income, profession, etc. by Spiegel. Second, the purpose of index number is that it shall fairly represent, so far as one single figure can, the general trend of the many diverging ratios from which it is calculated, by Irving Fisher. And the last one, an index number is a special type of an average that provides measurement of relative changes from time to time or place to place, by Wessel, Willett and Simon. We can simply say that index numbers are specialized averages, measure the net change in a group of related variables, measure the effect of changes over a period of time. Uses of index numbers. First one, help in framing suitable policies. Index numbers play a key role in framing suitable economic and business policies. For example, cost of living index helped in deciding wages and salaries. If the wages and salaries are not adjusted in accordance with the cost of living, it may often lead to strikes and lockouts, which in turn cause waste of resources. In other fields, sociologists use population indices, psychologists measure intelligence quotients, which are essentially index numbers. Health authority prepare indices to display the changes in the adequacy of hospital facilities, and education research organization have devised formulae to measure the changes in the effectiveness of school system. Next, reveal trends and tendencies of the data. Since index numbers measure changes over a period of time, the data obtained is a time series. By analyzing the time series, we can find the general trend of the phenomenon under study. For example, by examining the index number of imports in India for the last 8 to 10 years, we can say that the imports are showing an upward tendency. Next, important in forecasting future economic activities. By using index numbers, we can analyze the present and past conditions and thereby forecast the future. Last one is deflating. Deflating means removing the effect of price changes from something under consideration for the purpose of study. By deflating, we can find the real wage. Problems in the construction of index numbers. First one, the purpose and scope of the index. Before constructing an index number, we should be very clear about the purpose of an index. Why? Because there is no all-purpose indices. That is, an index number is of limited and particular use. For example, the index number constructed to measure the effect of change in prices cannot be used to measure the changes in quantity. Next, selection of base period. The base period of an index is the period against which the comparisons are made. For example, if we are constructing the index number of price in 2010 in comparison with the price in 2005, then 2005 is the base period. A base period should be a normal one. That is, it should be free from abnormalities like war, earthquakes, etc. And it should not be too distant in the past. Next, selection of number of items. The number of items included in the construction should be decided by the purpose of an index. It may not be possible to include all the items for the construction. For example, if we are constructing the index number of price, it is impossible to include all the commodities, so we have to select few items. Next one is price quotations. After selecting the number of items, we have to collect price quotations from different markets. The prices of commodities may vary from place to place and even from shop to shop in the same market. Thus, we have to collect price quotations from representative places and persons. Next, choice of an average. Index numbers are specialized averages. It has to be decided that which average should be used for the construction. Arithmetic mean and geometric mean are the most used averages, in which geometric mean is the most appropriate one. Selection of appropriate weights. Weight refers to the relative importance of different items in the construction. All items in the construction may not be equally important. Thus, we have to assign suitable weights. Then, selection of an appropriate formula. There are different formulae for the construction of index numbers, from which we have to select the most appropriate one. The formula suggested by Professor Irving Fisher is considered as the ideal for the construction of index numbers. Next, price relatives. Price relatives are the simplest index numbers for price. Price relative is equal to current year price by basic year price into 100. For example, the price of rice in 1990 is Rs 750 compared to Rs 500 in 1985. The price index number for 1990 with 1985 as base is price relative is equal to 750 by 500 into 100, which is equal to 150. Methods of constructing index numbers. The methods of constructing index numbers are broadly classified into two: simple index numbers and weighted index numbers. Simple index numbers are the unweighted index numbers, which are two types: simple aggregative index number and simple average of price relatives. Similarly, weighted index numbers are two types: weighted aggregative index number and weighted average of relative method. In the case of price index numbers, weighted aggregative method use quantity as weights and weighted average method use value as weights. Then, simple index numbers. Simple aggregative index number is equal to sigma P1 by sigma P0 into 100, where P1 is the current year price and P0 is the base year price. In simple average price relative method, simple average index number is equal to 1 by n into sigma P1 by P0 into 100, where n is the number of items, P1 by P0 is the relative price. For example, consider the problem: compute simple index numbers for the following data. We have price in 1971, price in 1976 corresponding to the commodities A, B, C and D. Here the latest year is 1976, therefore it is the current year, and 1971 is the base year. To find the values of index numbers, we have to calculate the values of sigma P1, sigma P0, sigma P1 by P0. For this, construct the table with the columns commodity A, B, C and D, price in 1971, that is P0, 20, 30, 10, 25. Price in 1976, that is P1, 25, 30, 15, 35. And price relative P1 by P0 is obtained by dividing the values of P1 by the corresponding values of P0, that is 25 by 20, which is equal to 1.25, 30 by 30, which is equal to 1, etc. Obtain the corresponding totals, that is sigma P0 is equal to 85, sigma P1 is equal to 105, sigma P1 by P0 is equal to 5.15. Substituting these values in the formulae, simple aggregative index number is equal to sigma P1 by sigma P0 into 100, which is equal to 105 divided by 85 into 100 equal to 123.53. Simple average index number is equal to 1 by n into sigma P1 by P0 into 100, where n is the number of items, which is equal to 4, which is equal to 1 by 4 into 5.15 into 100, which is equal to 128.75. Next, weighted index numbers. Weighted aggregative index number. There are different methods under weighted aggregative index number, from which the important ones are Laspey's index number, Paget's index number, Fisher's ideal index number, Marshall-Edgeworth index number, Dorbish and Bowley's index number, and the last one Kelly's index number. The Laspey's index number is equal to sigma Q0 P1 by sigma Q0 P0 into 100, where Q0 is the base year quantity. Paget's index number is equal to sigma Q1 P1 by sigma Q1 P0 into 100, where Q1 is the current year quantity. Then Fisher's ideal index number is the geometric mean of Laspey's and Paget's formula, that is, which is equal to root of L into P, which is equal to root of sigma Q0 P1 divided by sigma Q0 P0 into sigma Q1 P1 by sigma Q1 P0 into 100. Marshall-Edgeworth index number is equal to sigma Q0 plus Q1 into P1 divided by sigma Q0 plus Q1 into P0 into 100, which is equal to sigma Q0 P1 plus sigma Q1 P1 all divided by sigma Q0 P0 plus sigma Q1 P0 into 100. Then Dorbish and Bowley's index number is the arithmetic mean of Laspey's and Paget's formula, that is, which is equal to L plus P by 2, which is equal to sigma Q0 P1 by sigma Q0 P0 plus sigma Q1 P1 by sigma Q1 P0 all divided by 2 into 100. The last one, Kelly's index number is equal to sigma P1 Q divided by sigma P0 Q into 100, where Q is the quantity of any arbitrary year. For example, consider the problem. Calculate Laspey's, Paget's and Fisher's index number for the following data. In the data, we have given the price and quantities in 1990 and 1994 for the commodities A, B, C and D. To calculate the index numbers, construct the table with the columns P0, Q0, P1, Q1, Q0 into P0, Q0 into P1, Q1 into P1, Q1 into P0. The values of Q0 into P0 are obtained by multiplying the corresponding values of Q0 by the corresponding values of P0, that is 12 into 10, which is equal to 120, 15 into 7, which is equal to 105, etc. Similarly, we can calculate Q0 P1 and Q1 P1 and Q1 P0. Obtain the corresponding totals, that is sigma Q0 P0 is equal to 425, sigma Q0 P1 which is equal to 505, sigma Q1 P1 which is equal to 530 and sigma Q1 P0 which is equal to 470. Substitute these values in the formulae, we get last phase index number is equal to sigma q naught P1 divided by sigma q naught P naught into 100, which is equal to 505 by 425 into 100 equal to 180.82. Pasch's index number is equal to sigma q1 P1 by sigma q1 P naught into 100, which is equal to 530 by 470 into 100, which is equal to 112.76. And Fisher's index number equal to root of L into P, which is equal to root of 180.82 into 112.76, which is equal to 150.75. Then weighted average of relative methods. There are two formula under weighted average of relative methods, using arithmetic mean and using geometric mean. Using arithmetic mean, P01, that is the price index number of the current year with comparison to the base year, is equal to sigma WP divided by sigma W. Using geometric mean, P01 is equal to antilog of sigma W log P by sigma W, where P is equal to P1 by P0 into 100 and W is equal to Q0 into P0 is the value weight. For example, consider the problem. Calculate index number of prices for 1993 from the following data. The data given is commodity, weights, price in 1990, price in 1993 of the three commodities A, B and C. To find the values of index numbers using arithmetic mean and geometric mean, we have to calculate the values of sigma WP, sigma W, sigma W log P and P. For this, construct the table with the columns W, P0, P1 and P is equal to P1 by P0 into 100, W into P, log P and W into log P. The values of P is obtained by dividing the values of P1 by the values of P0 into 100. That is 20 by 16 into 100, which is 125, 16 by 14 into 100, which is equal to 150, 3 by 2 into 100, which is equal to 150. Then W into P is 125 into 40, which is equal to 5000, 150 into 25, which is equal to 3750, and 150 into 5, which is equal to 750, and the total is 9500. Then log P, log 125 is equal to 2.0969, log 150 equal to 2.1761 and log 150 equal to 2.1761. Then W into log P, 14 into 2.0969, which is equal to 83.8760, 25 into 2.1761, which is equal to 54.4025, 5 into 2.1761, which is equal to 10.8805, and the total 149.159. Substitute these values in the formula. We get, using arithmetic mean, P01 is equal to sigma WP by sigma W, which is equal to 9500 divided by 70, which is equal to 135.714. Using geometric mean, P01 is equal to antilog of sigma W log P by sigma W, which is equal to antilog of 149.159 divided by 17, which is equal to 135.209. Hope you all understand my class. Thank you.